When we go through to crop our images using the rule of thirds, simply want to find an image that we like that's going to work. Do I have one in here that doesn't look confused or frightened? Nope. I'm going to go here at the end where we have one that is not confused or frightened. This one is almost a symmetrical image. I might work with it symmetrically and try to crop it, but to show you what it looks like if I were to crop it with the rule of thirds, I'm going to use the crop tool. And as soon as I start to scale it, currently I have it set to 1:1 square. Looking at the crop tool, unconstrained means it can be any shape rectangle, long and skinny, square, short and fat, it doesn't matter. Original ratio means it will stay the same shaped rectangle as your original image, or you can change these. These are presets into standard photographic sizes. An 8:10 is a standard photographic size, 8.5:11 is printer paper, 4:3 is the same as a is a photographic size, 5:7 also. 2:3 is your basic 4:6, and 16:9 is typically a large format screen, like a HD screen look. You can create your own presets. We've done these, that's what these are here in the past, and you can do that by using your size and resolution presets. I'm just going to use an unconstrained one so I have lots of freedom. And you don't see the grid pop up initially until I start to move it, until I start to scale my image. And I'm looking for areas of interest on the image to line it up with my square. And I'm looking for either a point between eyes or on an eye. You would want something, perhaps the eyes to line up on that rule of thirds line. You might look as we start to do that what other things, if I put the eyes here, what other things tend to hit with that. I wish these were straighter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my image so that they are straighter. I think that would be more interesting. And if I move that up, what do I get? When I do this, I'm moving the image, not the box. It's a little bit backwards, and I'm putting this cross piece right in there. Notice I'm still dealing with this wiggling of making sure I've got it in the spot I like, as well as I don't have anything hanging off the edge. You'll notice also, yes, it cuts the top of her head off, but that doesn't seem to bother me. And her hand hits one of these points, and the edge of the chair comes down here behind her and hits right at that point, which is really kind of nice. Really kind of nice. The edge of her shoulder hits right here too, so it ends up coincidentally lining up very nicely that way. And that's really just looking at the image. I could line it up other ways, and the orientation of those pieces within this image might not work the same way. Also notice that the edge of her shoulder hits right here along this line as well, which I like that, so that when I'm done I end up with an image that has a lot of intention to the crop. It will read better, it'll look more thought out, it will look more professional and finished, and more like art and less like a snapshot, which is always our goal in digital photography. Using this in our cameras, whether it be on our phone where the grid pops up automatically. If you can't find it initially on an iPhone, in your settings you can find it under your camera settings. You just push the little button that says grid and it'll turn that on. Or when you're cropping afterwards, lots of crop tools have that. That's what you're intended to do, is put in points of interest and objects in your image along those 1/3 lines, and it will automatically make your photographs better. Taking that tip as the only thing you learn in this photography course is the one thing that can impact your imagery in the strongest way.